Maps of links between individuals and social media communications provide highly visible and readily understood indications of the links between individuals or other nodes tied together in a social network of relations. The image you see on the screen is one example of the mapping of nodes into a structured network. One of the earliest examples of a sociological analysis of social activists' use of social media was a study of activist communications that took place during the G20 summit that was held in Toronto in 2010. That research was carried out by Thomas Pole and published in 2012. During the 2010 G20 summit in Toronto, the Toronto Community Mobilization Network, which coordinated and facilitated many of the protests that took place during the G20 summit meetings, this network of people were called upon to broadcast breaking news using Twitter, YouTube, or Flickr, and to tag their reports as hashtag G20 report. Pole's research examines how this social media use affected the character of activist communications. He was especially concerned with the efficacy of social media in facilitating those communications, with how social media shaped activist communication and how the media are, in turn, shaped by the intersection of technocultural and political economic relations. Pole used hyperlink analyses to explore how different organizational websites, ranging from non-governmental organizations to corporate websites, are linked to each other in online contention. The figure you see on this screen is a map of the hyperlink network in which the activity on 5 social network platforms by social activists during the G20 summit was embedded. As Pole notes, there are striking differences in how the activity on the different platforms shapes the protest equality. There are especially strong links, as you can see, between the activity on Twitter, which was characterized by a large number of outlinks, and the YouTube videos, which received a lot of inlinks. Moreover, it was also evident that the two platforms, YouTube and Twitter, were the most important in the ecology of all the social network platforms of all the social media platforms that were being used during the protest. The media co-op blog and the Facebook group generated less linking activity and consequently were not as centrally positioned. You can see that in the diagram. And the almost noticeable absence of Flickr, for example, simply wasn't included in the map that you see here because there were virtually no inlinks or outlinks to it. So the figure you see on your screen is got green links, which they constitute an inlink, and red links are the outlinks. And by looking at this, Pole was able to conclude that social media should be understood as a complex of assemblages deeply entangled in on and offline technocultural and political economic configurations. Pole concluded that exploring how the G20 social media protest communication was embedded in such a configuration, in making that observation of the networks that you see posted there and the nodes in those networks, it became clear to him that activist communication at this point in history had undergone a profound transformation. Of course, this kind of thing in terms of activist communication has simply taken off and grown substantially since 2010, when it was being used for the G20 conference that Pole made his analyses of.